Just wait 1 minute. Okay. So we have learned the basics of writing research paper. We have started yesterday. In previous lecture, we have covered some portion. So I would like to have a quick uh, recap of what we have covered in previous lecture. Then we will move ahead. So some quotations I proceed my lecture, and then I have discussed some motivations uh, why to write a research paper, and then ultimately part to publication, that you all know: performing research, writing manuscript, and submission for publication. Then again we discuss some basic questions, and we learn that in it's not always journal is considered better. Sometimes the conference paper are also equally important, and the title is the most important component of a research paper. At the same time, we also learn uh, the the hardest part of starting a paper is just to start. So once you start, definitely you are going to complete the paper. How to be a good writer? So I uh, we have convinced that when we read a lot of paper, then we can be a good writer. That is, by reading number of paper, we can be a good writer. Then we have discussed what is a research papers. I mentioned and stressed upon that it's not only the published report that describe original research. In addition to that, the process, how the paper was written and the way it is published is equally important, along with the valid publication, peer reviewed. So apart from the technical content, the way of publication and the way of writing is also important whenever we are considering or discussing a research paper. Then I told you some editors and reviewers view, how the editors and reviewers looks and what they expect from your research paper. So this is a common to every branch. They look for originality and novelty, relevance and extension, methodology, clarity, structure and quality of writing, sound and logical progression should be there, currency of references, that is the reference should be relevance, recent and original, and compliance to the aim and scope of the journal. So these are the few things that you have to keep in mind, because the editors and reviewer also looks for when you submit your research paper. When I told you that the intuition and rigor is an integral component of a research paper, I explained you. I have also shared the video lecture. You can go again if you wish. Uh, then I mentioned some point to be remember regarding the language, and I told you that each paragraph should discuss a different story, and each paragraph should be properly knitted, connected with the next paragraph. At the same time, the each sentence should also be connected with the previous and the coming sentence. So we have covered till here. Now I'm going to cover the remaining part of this: how to write a research paper. Open, it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the writing process basically consists outline, draft, revise, and edit. So we will discuss each one of them one by one. This diagram is very, very important, and I have taken from someone's PPT. I sincerely acknowledge this not made by me. Even I acknowledge all the content and figures I have taken from the PPTs available on internet. Most of the things I have taken from somewhere. So how and where do I begin? And the answer is, the more I think, the more confused I get. It's a general thing, even in your personal and professional life also, in career, है ना, ज्यादा चिंता और चिंतन, तो चिंतन करना है, चिंता नहीं करना है. I told you that the hardest part of starting a paper is to start writing. We generally don't start writing. कभी हम पेन और पेपर लेके बैठते नहीं है, रादर हम ख्याली पुलाव पकाते रहते हैं हवा में. ऐसा करेंगे, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे, दोस्त यार से डिस्कस करते रहते हैं. But the best way is just you take your pen and paper and just jot down the things what is coming in your mind and just keep on writing whatever you can. Forget about अच्छा है, खराब है, that is not a matter. But you have to start the writing. Okay, so the key point of writing a research paper is just to start writing. So let's start. So first you have to choose your topic. Obviously your PhD topic must have been decided right now, and then if you want to write a research paper, then you have to select on what matter you are going to write a paper, and you keep on narrowing your topics and write the thesis. Thesis is 20 minutes, nothing but it's what are the basic, it's similar to the title. Don't worry about that, and create an outline. So how to select a topic and choosing your topic, you can take the help of your supervisor, and these are some guidelines that you can also follow. So when you are choosing a topic, the breadth, so you have to start with a broader topic, and then you have to narrow it. There should be originality. I mean, there should be some contribution to the field, and there should be enough source, enough research article in the open literature should be available. So these are the few things that you have to keep in mind when you are going to choose a topic for a research paper, even for a PhD. And you have to keep on narrowing down your topic. So whenever you are narrowing, how to make it narrow, you have to ask whom, what, when, where, why. And you have to read a lot of related and relevant journals on the topic that you are just choosing for your research paper writing. Now, creating an outline. This is the first point of beginning. You have to create an outline, है ना, जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं प्लान करना पड़ेगा. हम क्या क्या करेंगे, क्या क्या रखेंगे इस पेपर में, कहाँ तक, है ना, क्या क्या कवर करें. तो फर्स्ट इज द रिसर्च. So you have to perform the initial research to learn about your chosen topic. Whatever topic I have chosen, whether it is, relevant, whether it has been already done or it is not done, from the literature you have to decide, and whether it is, a publishable work or not. Then you have to brainstorming session, list all the ideas that you want to include in your paper. Again, I'm telling you, in spite of thinking, you just keep on writing on paper. Okay, nowadays because of this, it's age of IT, and because of this computer and all those things, we don't use to write the things. But it's my personal advice that you keep on writing, even if you can write on the soft, on your laptop or your PC, but just you mention down, note down. Actually, what happened is, after few days you forget whatever you are having some idea 2 day back. Again, you develop some idea, you forget, because you don't have the habit to write it down. Then organize, group related ideas together. Then you try to group them, what can be clubbed together and what can be different heading. And you have to then order, पहले कौन आएगा, बाद में, बीच में, with what will be the sequence of these ideas. And then you have to label, create main and subheading. So this is the some way, a lot of guideline you can found on the internet, but these are the something you already know most of the things. Only I am just reminding you that you have to do like that. Now, definitely a lot of benefits of outline, and these are few. The list is not exhaustive. Let's you start process of writing. So somewhere there should be a starting point. It's a very old, कहावत है ना, well begin is half done. So you have to start somewhere, and it will help you organize your idea. जो भी आइडिया आपके दिमाग में आते हैं उसको एक आइडिया ऑर्गेनाइज करने में मदद मिलता है. Present your material in a logical form. Obviously, if you are writing, again you are modifying and modifying, then you will have a good logical sequence of your ideas, and you will develop a relationship among those ideas, and you have an overall constructive overview what to write. Actually, it will give you boundaries. कितना मुझे लिखना है, कितना नहीं लिखना है, कहाँ तक लिखना है, कहाँ तक नहीं लिखना है, इसमें क्या आएगा नहीं आएगा. So it will you will find a niche, and you will define a boundary there, that this is my boundary. मेरा चद्दर इतना ही है, मेरे को इतना पैर पसारना है. Prevents you from straying from the topic, and definitely once you jot down the point and you draw the boundaries, then you have to be within that boundary. Now, how to make outline? There are some tips. I'm again saying most of the thing it's well known to you, but just to remind you, you have to begin early. Again, the starting is a very, very important, the key of the success in writing research paper. So you have to begin early. The people keep in mind that okay, 2-3 साल बाद हम जब कुछ काम कर लेंगे तब लिखना शुरू करें. But my advice is, whether it is conference or small conferences or a simple journal, you have to start. Directly, if you are going for journal, sometimes it's become difficult to get published in journal. So it's better to start with some conference paper, try to present there, try to publish there, and once you become, confident, then you go for some journal paper. But somehow you have to start. Refer to your outline often. बार बार अपने आउटलाइन को देखिए, उसमें से कुछ कम ज्यादा लगता है तो you can rearrange them, delete and add something if you wish. Now, be as specific as possible. As you all know, this research paper is a scientific and very, very formal document. Then anything extra is not advisable. अगर कुछ हटाने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है तो सीधा उसको डिलीट ही करना है. So you have to be very, very specific, as well as you have to stay on your topic, on your title. Always look your title. आपने जो टाइटल लिखा है ना, the central idea. Avoid having too many subheadings. Don't try to put so many subheadings that you get mess up and confused. Keep optimum subheadings, and don't be afraid to change your outline. अगर लगता है कि नहीं इसको हटा देने से बेहतर हो रहा है, then you can do, because outline will keep on changing. Allow yourself enough time to make changes. I mean, you have to plan properly. It's a time consuming and hard working to write a paper, so you have to put your lot of time and devotion for that. Okay, Bhupendra, I hope my voice is clear.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now I am moving further. Now, I think you are much familiar with this slide, essential part of a scientific paper. So these are the common content of a research paper you find in almost every paper. Title, which describe concisely the core content of the paper. Abstract, which will summarize the major element of the paper. I mean, what methodology, what result, and what is the importance, and the keywords is basically catchword. I mean, if you are searching something in Google, then you know which word I should put so that I will get the desired result. Then introduction, you have to provide a context and rational. I mean, है ना, background भूमिका बनाना पड़ेगा, and you have to also give the rational, I mean the logical reason why you wanted to do this experiment, or why you wanted to uh, publish research paper on this title, why you have selected particularly this title. So you have to rationalize, you have to give proper reasoning and sufficient literature background, you have to cite sufficient literature. Okay, 1G, 2G, 3G was developed, then it is a need of faster network and all those, then there is a need for 4G or 5G. Likewise, you have to create a niche, and you have to rationalize your title and topic, giving a proper context and literature support. Then materials, suppose you are synthesizing something, say polymer, or say some material, metal you are synthesizing, alloy or anything. Then you have to describe the raw material you are taking and any other material which is being used during experimentation and synthesis, and the methods which describe the experimental design and procedure. So the experimental design is important because how it has been conducted, I mean, what is the proportion, what is the concentration, what is the time of heating and temperature, and vacuum or open, you have taken the closed glass, or what type of reactor is there. So I mean, it depends on the topic and the area you are working on, and the result, basically it summarizes the findings without interpretation. So in results we just mention this is the result I have got. You need not to go for much interpretation is to be considered in discussion. And it is uh, also I have to mention that generally result and discussion we give combinedly. In almost all general, result and discussion should be given together. It's not separately, but the discussion means you have to elaborate your finding, while the result is just you have to mention whatever you have got. Then you conclusion, highlight the main findings and outcome. What is the overall, the crux, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना, निचोड़, क्या मिला आपको पूरे काम से. And then acknowledgement, give credit to those who have helped you. Help you means really help you. The references, list of citations of all scientific paper, books and website in a proper way, proper manner. There is a style of referencing you have to follow based on the journal you are targeting. Now, moving ahead, the structure of scientific research paper is very, very important. I mean, what should be the boundaries, the thematic scope. So I told you that there is a model, generally we follow that, known as hourglass model, sometimes king model. So this will give you the progression of thematic scope of a paper within these parts. And it was given by Swells. Now, first I will show you the extended hourglass model or king model. So though most of the authors follow their own style and own thematic scope and logical order, but this is a general guideline. You need not to follow exactly, but this will give you some idea to beginners that up to what I have to cover. I realized during my PhD supervision that most of the students are very much confused that what should be written in title, what should be in abstract. For example, whether I should go for references in abstract or not, and whether I should mention some result in introduction or not. So how to decide that what is my thematic range and what is the logical order? Just I mean to say is that it's not like that just after title you start discussion. It's not like that. है ना, टाइटल के बाद डायरेक्ट डिस्कशन तो नहीं शुरू कर देंगे. तो एक लॉजिकल सीक्वेंस क्या होगा, और उस सीक्वेंस में किस टाइटल में किस हेडिंग में कितना लिखना है और क्या लिखना है और क्या नहीं लिखना है. So you can see this is known as king model because it appears like a king of chess. you play chess. चेस के किंग जैसा दिखता है, इसलिए इसको किंग मॉडल बोलते हैं. अर्लियर इट वाज आवर ग्लास मॉडल. इफ यू कंसीडर द सेंट्रल पार्ट ऑफ दिस, सो है ना, रेत वाली घड़ी जो थी पुराने जमाने में, सो आवर ग्लास मॉडल, introduction, body and discussion, if you consider these three, it's like a hour glass. So there are three clear cut portion in hourglass model: introduction, body and discussion. You can see introduction, body and discussion. So in introduction, we start from general motivation and a broad subject to a particular research question that is taken in your body of the paper. So in introduction, you can see the x-axis represent the thematic scope, and this y-axis is logical order. Logical order means first you will discuss title, then abstract, then introduction, then body, then discussion, then reference. Okay, then in introduction, the thematic scope is very broad. That is, you will start from general discussion, and you will narrow down your discussion to your, particular topic, what you are going to discuss in your work. Are you getting? For example, if you are discussing 3G, 4G, 5G network, then you have to discuss with that the 21st century is the era of communication technology, and everything is, is driven by IoT, Internet of Things, and all those, and then it is desired to improve the speed and networking and all those, and then 1G, 2G, 3G, and बात करते करते आप 4G पे काम कर रहे हैं, then you come to the 4G and all those. So जनरल से स्टार्ट करते हुए, इधर उधर की बात करते हुए, धीरे धीरे हम अपने टॉपिक पे आ जाएंगे. And then in body, only you will discuss your own topic, nothing else. आप फिर अगर 4G पे काम कर रहे हैं तो सिर्फ 4G की बात करेंगे, 2G, 3G नहीं आएगा. Okay, you have to stick yourself to your own work, your own topic that you are going to discuss. And in discussion again, from your own topic, then you will try to correlate with your findings where it is useful. I mean, the others have find this, you start comparing with others' work, others' finding in the literature, and then you try to correlate where it has application and all those. Then again, you will increase your thematic scope. Okay. For example, in abstract, you will start from general discussion, you will narrow down to your own work, and again lastly you will again generalize this. For example, suppose this 1G, 2G, 3G I'm asking, again you will start from the what is the need of this 3G, 4G, and then you will correlate that the 4G, 5G is better than 1G, 2G and all those, and then you come to your own work. है ना, आपने 5G में ऐसा क्या किया, 4G में जो स्पीड बढ़ गई, और क्या कुछ किया जिसके लिए भी आपने जो भी टेक्निकली या जो कुछ करना चाहा किया. तो केवल आपका मेथड, आपका फाइंडिंग, आपका वर्क, है ना, व्हाट यू हैव डन, व्हाट यू हैव, which method you have adopted, and what result you got. And then again you start generalizing the things that, okay, if the speed is high, then it can be useful in this and that, and our finding is like and useful in communication, space and all those. जैसे भी कितना ज़्यादा हम उसको broader use दिखा सकते. So I will discuss when we will come to title, abstract and all those. But I just wanted to convey from this figure is that the structure of your paper consists two main key points. One is the logical order, the flow, and the second is the thematic scope. So you have to make a proper balance. If you want a good taste, then you have to have the proper mix of the ingredients. So similarly, the title, abstract, and introduction, body, if you write in such a, some proper structure, if you will provide, then your paper will look good, and that you may call it a good paper or quality paper, and obviously it will be liked by others, the readers also. Okay, so in introduction, from general motivation and broad subject to a particular research question. Then the body. In body, stay within a tight thematic scope and describe the research method and results. Discussion, aim to draw general conclusion, present implications of the result. However, there are additional part of paper. So apart from the introduction, body, and discussion, the additional parts are title, abstract, and reference. So on the internet, you can find many similar diagrams that will give you some idea. I think it's more useful for some humanity and other background PhD scholars, and you can find it. All these I have taken from the internet. I sincerely acknowledge the authors and the original creator, but just for sake of your understanding, then you can see the people have devised that even in abstract what should be given. I'm sorry, it's not clearly visible, but it's a problem statement, indication of methodology, main findings, and principal conclusion. So in abstract itself, how you will structure your paper, I mean abstract में क्या क्या रहेगा और कौन कितना रहेगा. Then introduction, you can see establish a territory, establish a niche, occupy the niche. So these are some guidelines. I'm again saying it's not hard fast that you have to follow as such. But for beginners, or for if you want to polish and if you want to provide a good structure and you want to write a good quality papers, then again the favorite quote is, if you want to win the game, own the game, then you must have to be familiar with the rules of game. And so these are some rules that you can own your game, and this methodology, results, discussion. So it's not this, many others way of people have given, they have tried to help the authors that how to write a research paper. There are Bloom taxonomy that you can use the different words in different situations. I'm not going in detail due to lack of time, and I mean there are the collection of words in which situation which word is appropriate, and what are the different words you can use. Particularly to avoid the plagiarism, you have to have a large vocabulary and lot of words, synonyms and antonyms, so that you can write in your own words, avoiding plagiarism. Now coming one by one, the first is title. So I will just try to just a minute. Bhupendra, it's okay?
Yes.
So what I'm planning to do is I will just go one by one and try to mention that what are the important things that you have to keep in mind. But all these will work when you start writing and practicing, because it's an art. अगर आपको डांस सीखना है तो आप दूसरे का डांस देख देख के नहीं सीख सकते, आपको खुद डांस करना पड़ेगा, है ना. So you have to practice, then only you will get perfection. So title should be precise and inviting, and you have to keep the fewest possible words. कम से कम शब्दों में ऐसा टाइटल होना चाहिए जो आपके जो वर्क को क्लियरली बताता हो, और इनवाइटिंग, इट शुड बी अट्रैक्टिव. It should be attempt, you know, it should create desire that, okay, it's very interesting, I should read this paper. Be concise, specific, and informative. Contain the keywords. Generally, the one very good idea is to write a title is you first find out your keywords of your papers, club them together and try to connect them. जितने सारे कीवर्ड हैं उनको साथ में जोड़ दीजिए और उसको एक सेंटेंस बनाने की कोशिश करिए. Then you will find a good title. Neither be too short nor too long as too meaningless. I told you that generally 1 to 2 line, title is generally considered good. It should not be very short, as well as it should not be very long also. And it is read by maximum. I told you yesterday that title is the first thing that when you search some paper, then you just see first the title. And once you convince with the title, then you go further for abstract. And once you are convinced with the abstract, you go for other contents. So the title is very, very important in the sense, once your paper get published, then whether it will be referred by others and cited by others, it depends on how interesting and how, meaningful and precise your title is. So generally, the authors give very less attention to title, but it's very, very important. You should devote much time on title, and let's others to. You just make some title. You ask your colleague, your supervisor, then what meaning you are getting and how I can improve. That is the way. Whether whatever you want to say, it is conveying that meaning or message or not. The waste word should not be used. Like if I told you that if you remove something and the meaning is not changing, then you just remove that. Not only in title, from anywhere in the research paper. The syntax, the word order must be very carefully, considered. And also, just by reading the title, the author should understand that what are the content you are going to discuss in your paper. So there are many types of title. That is not a big deal, but you should know some of them. Some people use descriptive titles, that is, which describe what the paper is about. For example, investigating the role of academic conferences on shaping the research agenda. So just it is in a descriptive manner. That's why it is known as descriptive title. So investigating the role of academic conferences on shaping the research agenda. The same title can be written in declarative manner, known as declarative title, like academic conferences shape the short-term research agenda. It can again be written as an interrogative title, like do academic conferences shape the research agenda? Or some people prefer to write compound titles by putting the question marks. Do academic conferences shape the research agenda and empirical investigation, are giving some semicolon and asking. So there are many ways of writing the titles, and there are some research also, and then you can look on this. Integrative titles have more downloads but fewer sites. I mean, the titles generally, it was a research on when the interrogative titles have more downloads. Download तो बहुत हुआ लेकिन site कम हुआ. Compound title with colon are longer and have fewer downloads. अगर आपका title बहुत लंबा है तो generally download rate कम होते हैं. And even people don't like to refer your title.
Sir,
Yes,
your voice is breaking, sir.
Bhupendra?
Yes, sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Okay. Still अभी भी ऐसा ही हो रहा है?
अभी ठीक है,
नो
सर.
सर क्लियर है.
क्लियर है. ओके, मेरा चाय ठंडा हो रहा है. Now the example of titles, the action of antibiotics and bacteria. Now, by this example, you can understand, if you look seriously, that what I want to convey. It is not a good title because what action should be defined, what antibiotics should be listed, and what bacteria should be listed. So though it looks like very good action of antibiotic and bacteria, but it is not considered a good title because it's vague. It's not specific. And research paper is meant to discuss some specific topic and specific idea. So what should be alternative good title is mechanism of suppression of non-transmissible pneumonia in mice induced by Newcastle disease virus. So all these action, antibiotic and bacteria is incorporated in this title. So it is much better title compared to this. This is a very vague title. Okay. Similarly, other titles are there. I'm not going in detail, but you might have understood that you have to be very precise as well as informative. आपको सब words कम use करने हैं लेकिन information ज़्यादा बताना है. So that is art. When you keep on practicing, it will work. And another idea is that you have to read and read and read papers, and then you will develop how to write the titles, how others in your research area or in your peers, how they are writing the titles. So it will be learned by reading many papers. Now, there are some guidelines how to prepare the title. So list the most important keywords I told you. Think of a title that contains these words. The title could state the conclusion of the paper. The title never contains abbreviations, chemical formula, proprietary names and jargons. So sometime I have seen the abbreviation in the title, but it should be avoided if possible. If you are putting some abbreviation, that it should be very well known. I mean, uska full form sabko pata hona chahiye. Rethink of the title before submitting the paper. So again, I'm telling you, generally we don't give much stress on title. And the fact is, the title is the most important. अगर टाइटल आपका पसंद नहीं आया तो कोई आपका पूरा पेपर कभी पढ़ेगा ही नहीं. So if you want to make it a good paper, again, good research paper will be rated by number of times it has been cited, number of, the journal which refer your paper, the authors who refer your paper. So if the title is not convincing, then बात की बात तो आएगी नहीं. Be very careful of the grammatical errors due to faulty word orders. Preferably avoid the use of word using. Now coming to the abstract. The abstract is a one paragraph summary of the whole paper, generally up to 500 words. Again, it should be precise, clear and interesting. See, the interesting word is the catch point. Until unless आप सोच रहे होंगे कि साइंस में क्या इंटरेस्टिंग लिखेंगे या टेक्निकल पेपर में क्या इंटरेस्टिंग हो. बिलीव मी, है ना, इंटरेस्ट कैन बी क्रिएटेड इन साइंस पेपर आल्सो. अगर ऐसा नहीं होता तो लोग साइंटिफिक पेपर तो पढ़ता ही नहीं कोई, है ना. तो साइंटिफिक पेपर में टेक्निकल उसमें भी इंटरेस्ट, है ना, क्रिएट किया जा सकता है और होता है. आप पढ़ेंगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा, बहुत लोगों को आनंद आता होगा उसमें. Brief summary of the information main section in a document. State the principal objective and scope of the investigation. Describe the method. Summarize the result and state the principal conclusion. You might be thinking कि सारा कुछ 4-5 लाइन में कैसे आएगा? So just look how others are writing. The simple answer is the well-known author in your field, how he is writing. In abstract, he is incorporating the principal objective and scope, methods, results, principal and conclusion. Actually, these all are one-liners. And of course, you are not initially at a beginner, you may not be able to write a good abstract, or you can incorporate in a single paragraph, all these things. But with the time, you will see that you are able to say the words in a single paragraph and keeping all these content. And that is the reason at the beginning, during the motivation, I told you that you will learn how to communicate effectively when you write a research paper. रिसर्च पेपर लिखते लिखते आपको अपनी बात को इफेक्टिव तरीके से कहने आ जाएगा. If I take my own example, at the beginning of my teaching career, I was not so effective, in my opinion. When I start writing research paper, reading research paper, with the passage of time, I feel that I have improved a lot in saying effectively and teaching effectively. So it's very, unusual that by writing and reading research paper, I become a good teacher compared to previous. So I can guarantee you, based on my own experience, that if you start writing paper, start reading papers, then you will develop a sound and logical arguments. You can communicate much effectively and properly. You can say your word in a very few words. Okay. In the past, because when you write the research paper, for example, you have to write your abstract in 250 words in some general. Then you are forced to, squeeze your words. दो पन्ने का, दो पेज का आपने abstract लिखा है, उसको 250 वर्ड में लाना होगा. So you try to learn how to, shorten this, how to make it compact. And during that process, you develop, the habit to say your words in a using less words, small sentences. So long sentence should be abbreviated, and that can be used later on. Now some people say like that it is easier to write the abstract after completion of the paper. यानी abstract को लिखना ज़्यादा आसान है पेपर के complete होने के बाद. So I can modify in this like that. You write abstract initially, and once you complete your paper, you again come back to the abstract and try to modify. Try to align your abstract with the content of the paper. So it's a cyclic process. ऐसा नहीं कि एक बार abstract लिख दिया तो आप उसको change नहीं कर सकते. जब आप पूरा paper complete कर लीजिए तो then you will develop some good ideas that okay, my abstract, if I change this way, I mean the abstract and title should be aligned with your paper, content of the paper. ऐसा नहीं कि टाइटल में कुछ और कर रहे हैं और टाइटल में इंडिया की बात हो रही है और कंटेंट में पाकिस्तान आ गया. Now there are many ways of writing abstract, and according to Day, I told you this is a very good book. I referred most of the content from this Robert Day book. There are two basic type of abstract: informative and indicative. So you need not to worry about that. It's just for sake of teaching that either you can extract everything relevant from the paper and put into abstract, or you can indicate or rather describe the content of the paper, each one line, that is outline of the paper. Okay, so this is the two basic way of writing the abstract. Now the simple way of writing an abstract is a checklist given by Kopman, packing each part into one sentence. Okay. Upen?
Yes,
We are well connected.
yes, sir.
Okay. So you have to pack each line for each motivation. एक line motivation का, one line for problem, what problem you are dealing, one line for solution, one line for result, and lastly implication or application, or where you are going to apply, what is the use of your finding. If you pack all these 4-5 lines, then automatically you get a good abstract. So motivation means, already, importance, relevance of the problem and the result. Problem, what
Excuse me,
problem
sir.
is sorry?
Sir, sorry for disturbance.
Yeah.
Sir, many students are waiting in lobby. Sir, please, can you join them?
Yeah, I will. Okay. So problem means what problem is the paper is the paper trying to solve, and what is the scope of the work. Solution, what was done to solve the problem. Suppose you have did modeling, you have used MATLAB, so just simulation was performed or synthesis was done. Result, I mean, what is the main finding, main answer to your problem? And lastly, one main application of your finding. The other technique says, that is known as SPSE technique, situation, problem, solution, evaluation. You just describe the situation, general background, one line, problem, one line, that what research problem you are going to address, and what solution you are intending to do, and how did your finding will solve that problem, that is result. Okay, so almost all these are similar, and but the a slightly different way of you know giving idea that how to make a good abstract. Generally thing one should not include in an abstract are information and conclusion not stated in the paper. So you should not include any conclusion or any information that is not your finding. I mean, literature का finding आप अपने abstract में दूसरे के work का finding नहीं mention करना है. Reference to other literature, generally we avoid referencing in the abstract. In apart from abstract and title, almost all the portion of your paper contains referencing literature citation, but one should avoid the citation of literature in abstract. The exact phrase and illustrative elements such as tables and figure that appear later in the paper. If you should keep in mind that the same way of same sentence should not be repeated in the latter portion of your, I mean, say you have written some sentence in abstract, the same substance should not be repeated in your conclusion. You can put the same thing but use different wordings and sentence. Suppose your main finding you want to put in the abstract as well as in conclusion, so just use the different sentence and language. Don't put the same sentence, copy and paste. This is the one of the example. Quickly I will go to that some part of abstract, that is motivation. And online presence is gradually becoming an essential part of every learning institute. As such, a large portion of learning material is becoming available online. So this motivation problem, incongruently, it is still a challenge for author and publisher to guarantee accessibility, support, effective retrieval, and the consumption of learning object. One reason for this is that non-annotated learning objects pose a major problem with respect to their accessibility. Non-annotated objects not only prevent learner from finding new information, but also hinder a system's ability to recommend useful resource. So this is some problem, and then again solution. Okay, the result so that automatically generated tags were preferred 35% more than the original author annotation. Further, they were this more relevant in terms of recall for users. And this implication, kahan use hoga iska? The implication of these results is that automatic tagging can facilitate effective information access to relevant learning objects. So you can find many, you just take any paper from your area and just try to look with the orientation and angle what we have learning here. Then the body of the paper, you have to cover the reports on in the body of the paper. You have to reports on the actual research done to answer the research question or problem identified in the introduction. It should be written as if were an unfolding discussion, each idea at a time. Often the body comprises several sections and subsections. where structure, organization, and content depends heavily on the type of paper, publication outlet, publisher, and the creativity of the authors. Okay, so there are many types of paper: empirical papers, case study, methodology. So depending on whatever you are dealing, the review paper, research paper, case study, methodology paper, your body will be slightly different. I mean, content will be different. Now I am moving to introduction. The introduction should answer the following question. I told you in introduction, you create the background and find a niche, you define the boundaries. So you just put the questions: what, why, what, when, how. So what was I studying? Why was this an important question? What did I know about this topic before I did this study? What model was I testing, and what approach did I take in this? So these are some questions. If you ask and reply uh, with respect to your research topic, then you can create a good introduction. Now, there are some few rules for good introduction. It should be present the nature and scope of the problem investigated. Explain why your research is interesting. Again, है ना, अपनी दही को खट्टा बोलेंगे तो फिर कोई नहीं खरीदेगा. You have to make it interesting, and at least you have to praise your work. Narrow the focus of your topic. Review, cite the pertinent general literature. Okay? You can grow on the shoulders of giant. You just try to cite some literature which is from the authors well known in your area, that will make your work more, pertinent and valuable. So always try to refer a good work, or try to read the papers from authors which is well known in your area, and always refer good journals. State briefly what research was done. State the method of investigation. State the principal result of the investigation. State the principal conclusion. So everything come in introduction, but in a different, content. So this is again how to write a good introduction. More detail of motivation and problem statement from general to specific. You have to contextualize the problem. Context बताना पड़ेगा कि इस problem की क्या जरूरत है. Importance of the problem. You have to jot down. You have to mention how it is significant. The problem is significant, and what are the intellectual challenges and difficulties. And you have to must highlight the novelty of your paper. I told you that this novelty should be find out. Maybe it is always better to have novelty before then you perform the experiment. Even if it is not, you have not decided and find out the novelty, but later on you have to find out the novelty and you have to highlight as well. आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि this is the novelty and innovation in my work that is different from the existing literature. What is my contribution? आप पेपर क्यों पब्लिश करना चाहते हैं? ये आपके एरिया में क्या फर्क डालेगा, क्या फायदा करेगा? कुछ ऐड ऑन हो रहा है साइंटिफिक लिटरेचर में कि अगेन एट अनदर पेपर? It should not be at another paper. If it is a good research paper only when it is contributing, it may be very small, है ना, delta x हो सकता है, लेकिन there should be some contribution. Last chance of making the reader want to read your paper in detail. अगर आप इंट्रोडक्शन में भूमिका बढ़िया बना दिए, माहौल, फिर आपका पेपर आगे भी पढ़ा जाएगा, वरना the paper will not be read by someone. So again, this is an introduction taken from somewhere. What sample collected, what was measured, why, what result did we hope to achieve. So generally the last paragraph of our paper tells about what are the different, what exactly you wanted to do. That is the last part of your paper. I can just show you one of my paper. Just थोड़ा ब्रेक लेने के लिए. Okay, I will show you my first paper. Upen, are you able to see?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, as you all know, I am a chemical engineer, and this was my first paper in maybe 14, I think so. Yeah, 14. So the first, I would just like to show that in introduction, the last paragraph of introduction, which one that? Okay, this one. And you can see an efficient alternative approach for separation of. So you can, if you see, the title was extraction equilibria of pyruvic acid using tri and butyl phosphate and influence of diluent. So basically, the work was I wanted to extract the pyruvic acid, and in this paper, I am discussing the equilibrium using TBP as a solvent, and I want to highlight the influence of diluent. What will be the influence of diluent? So this was title was written, and this is abstract, and I'm talking about introduction. Then you can see this is the last paragraph of introduction. So you see the, I think, no. Started from here. Okay. This is the last paragraph. This paragraph is the last paragraph of introduction. So I am telling you, in the last paragraph of introduction, you will cover what you have done in your this paper. Okay, so you can see in this background, I have created some background here. In this background, extraction of pyruvic acid was performed with tri and butyl phosphate dissolved in diluent with different chemical nature. NMIA. The extraction behavior was explained based on the physical and chemical equilibria with the help of various parameters. So the last part of your introduction is devoted for explaining your own work. जो इस पेपर में आपने किया है वो बताने के, ठीक है? If you see, I have shown you the title. You can see the abstract. If you see, the pyruvic acid is extensively utilized in the chemical, pharmaceutical, and agrochemical industries. So what I am doing, I am creating the niche. मैं जनरल चीज से शुरू कर रहा हूँ. Novel biotechnological routes to pyruvic acid production receiving great attention, and recent focus of research are toward its separation from fermentation broth or recovery from waste stream. तो मैं ये जनरल बात कर रहा हूँ. अभी मैं अपनी जो वर्क है उसकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. फिर बेस्ड ऑन रिवर्सिबल यहां से मेरा अपना वर्क शुरू हुआ. Based on reversible complexation, extraction equilibria of the system, these were measured at this pyruvic acid, this concentration, using this concentration, and the chemical I have used and the method I have explained. Then results, different physicochemical properties, क्या मैंने parameter use किया, and then lastly you can see some numerical findings, results in one line. the value of constant was this for this diluent and extractant. Okay. And then lastly, the main finding, higher chemical extraction was observed in inactive diluents and heparin and toluene. Nowadays, in this is the CI Journal around 2.5 impact factor ACS publication. This is the graphical abstract. You have to show your work through a graph or image. So at that time, I was not very much, good in writing papers. So I made one graphical abstract showing using different colors simply. Okay, I have taken aqueous phase, organic phase, and mix. So it is very typical chemical engineering research paper. So don't bother on that. Just I wanted to highlight how to write the abstracts. Introduction, if you see, the pyruvic acid is a valuable organic acid that contains both reactive ketonic. Pyruvic acid के बारे में थोड़ा सा बता दिया. फिर for the production of pyruvic acid, pyruvic acid का production कैसे होता है. Then due to recent development, what is the use and what are the problems. And slowly I came to my own work. Traditionally organic acid कैसे produce करते हैं. Then मैं क्या कोशिश कर रहा हूँ करने की, मैं फर्मेंटेशन प्रोसेस से प्रोड्यूस करके उसको एक्सट्रैक्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, और लोगों ने क्या काम किया है और क्या फाइंडिंग्स हैं. एंड देन मूविंग अहेड आई कम टू माय ओन वर्क. अलग अलग एक्सट्रैक्टेंट लोगों ने यूज किया, मैंने ये यूज किया, इसके ये फायदे हैं, ये अच्छाई है बुराई है, जो करते हुए यू कैन सी लॉट ऑफ लिटरेचर I have referred. I have cited lot of literature. You can see almost around maybe around 26 literature in the up to the introduction itself. Okay. So since you belongs to different discipline, you might not be liking much, but just for sake of example, Bhupendra?
Yes, sir.
Now coming to the materials. So generally it's more, relevant to the chemical and biotechnology, metallurgy, mechanical, or whenever you are synthesizing something. And of course, method is common to everyone, but materials generally we discuss. Now, when you are writing material and method section, you should keep in mind, provide full details so that experiment are repeatable and reproducible. जब आप कोई भी मेथड और मटेरियल बता रहे हैं तो आपको पूरा डिटेल बताना होगा, जिससे अगर कोई दूसरा चाहता है वो उसको रिपीट कर सके. तो क्या आपका लिखा हुआ पढ़ के दूसरा एक्सपेरिमेंट को रिपीट कर सकता है? एग्जैक्टली मैं आपको इसमें दिखा रहा हूँ अभी. ऑर्गेनाइज द मेथड अंडर सब हेडिंग. अगर जैसे हीटिंग कर रहे हैं उसका अलग है, उसका कूलिंग कर रहे हैं अलग है, कोई फर्दर प्रोसेस कर रहे हैं तो उसको, सो डिफरेंट सब हेडिंग में क्लियर कट हेडिंग शुड बी देयर. डिस्क्राइब द एक्सपेरिमेंटल डिजाइन इन डिटेल, है ना, कैसे किया, कितना टेम्परेचर, प्रेशर, क्या स्पीड, आरपीएम, जो कुछ भी किया उसका फुल डिटेल होना चाहिए. Only those details should be ignored which is common to all. अगर आप नहीं भी बताते तब भी वो समझ जाता है, वो आप इग्नोर कर सकते हैं. Write in past tense, I mean it has been done, it was done, like that. So if you come to the paper I was showing you, you see this is the material and method section. The first one is material. I have given this. Apart from this material, what I did is I have given table 1 chemical used in present work. So you can see the chemicals, structure, molecular weight, and some property I have mentioned. Just it is to make something attractive and heavy. Again, the properties of diluent, the properties that I have used in my work, I have given the dipole moment and dielectric constant, all those. So these are the things you can think upon, and these ideas will come when you keep on reading your papers. I mean others paper, literature. कैसे लोग प्रेजेंट करते हैं, उसमें आप ऐड ऑन क्या कर सकते हैं जिससे आपका पेपर थोड़ा अलग लगे. Okay, so if you see the material method, I told you that each and every minute detail you have to mention. For example, equilibrium experiment were carried out checking see equal volume. I have mentioned the volume 6 घंटे के लिए टेम्परेचर कितना रखा आरपीएम कितना था सेकिंग करने का even you have to tell which shaker was used and manufacturer name is there then it was put on for equilibrium on 4 hours then it was titrated with NaOH the normality was this and then I have measured the pH using this experiment made by this Sartorius and this the list count was there. So you must have understood that each and every minute detail you have to mention your method so that it becomes, the editor and reviewer should know that it has been very precisely and carefully written. Now, just to put some additional weight to paper, I have just given a small statistical analysis, that is experimental uncertainty. Since it was experiment based, so what was the uncertainty in my number of experiments? I have given that one. So you can also think and look for some additional, things that will make your paper more, heavy and more valuable. I mean, if I am doing experiment, what is the guarantee that I am getting the good result each and every time? And what is the deviation of different samples, observations? So these are the few things that you have to keep in mind. Now the material I told you must identify accurately technical specification. Whatever technical specification is there, you have to mention. It will be different for chemical, it will be different for some metals and all those, but you have to mention. For example, if you are using chemical, then method of preparation, source, purity, grade, make, physicochemical property, each and every detail you have to mention in a very, proper manner. If you are dealing with the experimental animals, plant and microorganism used by genus, species and strains. So the way of writing, bacteria and microorganisms is different. So you have to keep in mind how to write. Avoid the use of trade name. है ना कॉमन नेम नहीं लिखना है उसका जैसे आईपीएससी नेम रहता है केमिकल का वैसे ही केमिकल नेम उसका लिखना है ना कि कॉमन नेम लिखना है क्योंकि ट्रेड नेम इज डिफरेंट एंड इट इज डिफरेंट विद इट वेरीज विद द लोकेशन इंडिया में कुछ और ट्रेड नेम होगा यूएसए में कुछ और होगा तो ट्रेड नेम नहीं चलेगा if human subjects are used, some biotechnology and biomedical peoples are doing, you have to take the consent of bio and you have to follow the bioethics. Now coming to the methods, now when you are writing methods, keep in mind it must be clear. I mean, it should not be confusing. What you are doing, it should be written in a very simple language, precise and concise so that it can be reproducible. You have to keep in mind कि क्या मेरा लिखा हुआ पढ़ के दूसरा इसको फिर से रिपीट कर सकता है कि नहीं. If the method is new, all detail must be provided. Otherwise, cite the source. Okay. If you are writing, writing the method first time, then each detail you have to mention. Suppose one paper you have published using that method, and if you want to publish another paper, then you just cite your previous paper or any one method you are adapting, just mention that you have adapted the method from that literature. You just give the citation. Okay. Questions such as how or how much must be answered. Method used for statistical analysis. If you are giving some statistical analysis, then you just put there. For example, if you are using MATLAB or any software, then the version of that software should also be mentioned, like MATLAB 4.1 or 4.2 or 4.0. So, I mean, each and every branch has its own, specific details that it should be mentioned. Now, the result and discussion. How to write the result and discussion. So result section is written in the past tense that it was done and it is found this. It is the core or heart of the paper. You all know it should clearly and simply state new knowledge contributed to the point. आपको हाईलाइट करना होगा कि आपने जो किया है वो एक नई चीज है जो ये यहाँ पे इसका कंट्रीब्यूशन ये है. The purpose of this section is to summarize and illustrate the findings in an orderly and logical sequence. So one thing you just marks my word that even you are mentioning some results, there the order must be maintained. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ भी कभी भी बोल दे रहे हैं आप. आपके रिजल्ट्स भी इन अ प्रॉपर लॉजिकल सीक्वेंस में और ऑर्डर्ड मैनर में होना चाहिए. The text should guide the reader through the finding, stressing the major point. And whenever you are giving some result or outcome or finding, just try to mention. जैसे the 80% extraction was achieved. Bracket में आप लिख दीजिए table 1 or figure 1 or 2, so that one can refer that one. You always try to back up whatever you are saying. You try to back up with the your results and experimentation. Do not describe method that have already been described in the material method section. Now, this is very, very important, particularly for engineering and scientific research. Method of presenting the data directly in the text, in table, in figure. So sometime we directly put in the text, sometime we used table, and sometime we use figure. One should know when to use table, when to use figure, and when you can cite directly in the text. Now, all figure and table must be accompanied by a textual presentation of the key finding. Now, this is the very important. The meaning is that अगर आप कोई फिगर और टेबल बनाए हैं तो उसका जिक्र टेक्स्ट में होना चाहिए, और अगर टेक्स्ट में कोई फिगर टेबल का आप जिक्र किए हैं तो वो वहां पे होना चाहिए. जैसे टेबल 1 मैंने बनाया है तो मेरे टेक्स्ट में होना चाहिए कि टेबल 1 से ये आता है या टेबल 1 shows this. And if I am mentioning the table 1 in my text, then that table 1 should be present in my paper. All table and figure must be mentioned in the text and vice versa. Okay, all table and figure must be in the text, and all the table and figure in the text must be in the paper. Now again, this is very, very important. Keep in mind, all table figure equation must be numbered. Okay, I will show you some points. See, suppose this figure. So there are many things to note down. The first thing is that whenever you are writing the figure title, remember the figure title is written at the bottom while the table title is written at the top of the table. ये टेबल के ऊपर टाइटल होता है, फिगर के नीचे टाइटल होता है. नाउ जब आप लिखते हैं तो यू शुड ट्राई टू गिव द कंप्लीट डिटेल. आप देखिए कितना बड़ा टाइटल दिया है मैंने. द पर्पज इज, द लॉजिक बिहाइंड दिस इज द रीडर शुड नॉट गो बैक टू रिफर क्या है कैसा है. आई मीन इस फिगर की पूरी डिटेल मैं इस टाइटल में दिया हूं, आपको किसी टेक्स्ट में और कहीं जाके रिफर नहीं करना पड़ेगा कौन सा क्या है. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? ट्राई टू गिव फुल डिटेल एज ए हेडिंग. मतलब अपने आप में ये कंप्लीट होना चाहिए फिगर. इसके लिए मुझे बार बार टेक्स्ट में रिफर करना ना पड़े. वैसे ही टेबल में यू कैन ऑल्सो ऑब्जर्व दैट the digit I have taken is almost same. I mean 4 digit में है तो when you are making a table, digit after the decimal point should be same. Okay, the unit should be uniform. Moreover, it is always better to give uncertainty and temperature and all those some statistical analysis, particularly when you are referring with the experimental and data papers. Now I was just telling you, see, each figure and each table is numbered. You can see each equation is also numbered. Are you getting? कोई भी इक्वेशन ऐसा नहीं होगा जिसका नंबर ना हो, या कोई भी फिगर या टेबल ऐसा नहीं होगा जिसका नंबर। ये बहुत छोटी छोटी बात है। मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आई सी दैट स्टूडेंट केम विद द पेपर विदाउट नंबरिंग इक्वेशन। So these are the some thumb rules. Apart from this, this is one of the table. You can improvise your paper. You can, you know, जैसे आप सजते संवरते हैं अच्छा दिखने के लिए, अच्छा लगने के लिए, वैसे ही पेपर को थोड़ा सजना संवारना पड़ता है ना? It depends, है ना? It's your innovation. So, for example, one of the things I would like to mention here is that what I did is in the result and discussion, I have given a comparative table with my own result and the previous result. You can see the first one is my present work, my own work, and these are the some results. Just a minute. So I have compared my own findings with the findings in the previous literature. So it serves many purpose. It serves at a single go. The reviewer and editor can compare my work with the existing work. Whether I am getting similar result or much deviation and or any, you know, abrupt results I am getting. So this was the one innovation I given in this paper, that I have compared and put the previous similar results with my own work. So such type of innovative idea you can also develop based on your own research area. Okay. So this point, all figure and table must be accompanied by textual presentation. I told you one thing. Okay, maybe next. Okay, tables are appropriate for large or complicated data set that would be difficult to explain clearly in the text. So कब table use करना है, कब figure use करना है, कब text में directly लिखना है, you should know. If you Google on internet, you can find plenty of, you know, suggestions then when to use table, when to use figures. So depending on your own work, you can find out the better way of presentation of your data and results. So each different the different branches and different topics had different way of presentation that you can present effectively. So for large and complicated data set, we use tables. It is better. Figures are appropriate for data sets that exhibit trends and patterns and relations that are best conveyed visually. Now again, there are many types of table, there are many types of figure. So which figure you have to use, it depends on, again, what is the topic of your research, as well as you have to look how others in your area are doing. So how you will know? The only way is you have to read the paper, lot of paper again and again. That is literature review or literature survey. And this is the most big part of any research scholar. वैसे भी कोई पढ़ना नहीं चाहता है, और रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स PhD में, आई एम सॉरी टू से दैट लिटरेचर रिव्यू generally the students are not doing properly. They don't want to read the papers. But without reading paper, I can just warn you that you cannot be a good writer. Do not include both table and figure. Sometime to increase the length of your paper, table में भी दे दिया data, figure में भी दे दिया. Don't do like that. Either you are representing in form of table or in figure, which is most appropriate. दोनों नहीं use करना है. And how to write the discussion? It is hardest section to write. So the best solution is that you do up to here, and after that you just submit to your supervisor as usual. सर यहाँ तक मैं बना दिया, अब आगे आप देखिए, है ना? Since it is the hardest section to write, its primary purpose is to show the relationship among observed fact. It should end with a short summary or conclusion regarding the significance of the work. So actually, one idea I can give you based on my own experience, that again, how to correlate your finding and data with your results, that is how to discuss the result, which is definitely going to be a very tough task for you. You just try to find how the other researchers in your area are doing. For example, suppose I want to discuss the effect of temperature on my parameter. Suppose मैं extraction पे काम करता हूँ, टेम्परेचर का क्या इफेक्ट होगा एक्सट्रैक्शन पे, तो आई हैव कलेक्टेड लॉट ऑफ पेपर्स ऑन इफेक्ट ऑफ टेम्परेचर. इफ आई again revisit those paper effect of temperature, definitely I am going to get few idea, few reasoning that will apply to my own work. So this is how you can develop the discussion that suits your own results and data. So the only way is that you have to read a lot of paper, lot of good papers, if you really want to write a good research paper. Now the component of discussion, try to present the principal relationship and generalizations shown by the result. Point out any exceptions or any lack of correlation and define unsettled point. So how your result and interpretation agree or contrast with the previous work. That I told you. I have shown in my paper that I have tabulated the previous work and compared with my work. That is, so how your result and interpretation agree or contrast with previous published work. So this will help the reviewers and editor to take decision on your manuscript. I mean, your result is comparable or not. Discuss the theoretical implication of your work and any possible practical application. Try to mention that this finding can be used here, there, and there. What are the possible application of your finding? You just mention that so that you can elaborate that the usefulness of your own work. State your conclusion as clearly as possible. Summarize your evidence for each conclusion. And whenever you are concluding something, कि टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने से एक्सट्रैक्शन कम होता है, तो the table and figure which are relevant to that conclusion, that statement. अगर रिसर्च पेपर में आपका कोई अपना स्टेटमेंट हवा में उड़ के नहीं आएगा, या तो किसी ने किया होगा पहले तो उसका साइट करिए कि इसने कहा था, ये उसका साइटेशन लिटरेचर है, या आप बताइए कि कौन से एक्सपेरिमेंट से, कौन से डेटा से, कौन से टेबल से, कौन से फिगर से आप ये कंक्लूजन ड्रा किए. You just mention the table and figure there. I hope you got my point. Now coming to the conclusion. So how to write conclusions, not just summary, different from the abstract and introduction. So try to make it different from the abstract. Generally I found that abstract and conclusion appears very similar. Now you can differentiate in the sense that represent the moral of the story. In conclusion, you should write your finding more. Don't go for generalization and all those context and भूमिका बनाने की वहाँ जरूरत नहीं है. Simply आप ये किए और ये मिला. At most you can write that it is useful in that area. And preferably you should put on, जैसे मेरे को 96% extraction मिला, तो in one line the maximum extraction of 96% was achieved using this at this concentration. So one liner conclusion should be given, and preferably it should be some data, numerical value if it is possible, or if it is literature or humanity, then the main findings should be mentioned, highlighted. Analyze the strength and limitation. Sometimes people also give that apart from this, such type of study is also required to complement this. What the readers should remember after they have forgotten the details. Bring back the general label. And ultimately you have to make the cyclic. It should again come to abstract. Now one main point I would like to mention again is what the readers should remember. So if I I have to say one line what conclusion should contain, then my word will be what is take home. आपका पेपर पढ़ने के बाद वो क्या लेके गया, क्या सीखा. So the conclusion should state the take home. Okay, what the reader should remember after your whole paper. Now acknowledgement quickly. I will take 5 to 10 minutes. Bhupen,
Yes, sir.
how to state the acknowledgement? You should acknowledge any significant technical help that you have received from any individual in your lab or elsewhere. So please mind that you have to mention the name. You should not forget the people who have helped you. See, sometimes you have to make the author, and sometime you have to just acknowledge someone contribution. So it is up to you. Author and supervisor and other authors will decide कौन सा किसको author में रखना है, कौन किसको acknowledge देना है. But my suggestion is don't forget to acknowledge at least the person who has helped you. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that मैं आपको ये पढ़ाया हूँ how to paper write तो आप मेरा नाम लिख दो. It's not like that. It should be significant technical help. रियली आपको टेक्निकली उस पेपर में किसी ने हेल्प किया है तो आपको जरूर एक्नॉलेज करना चाहिए, और अगर बिल्कुल नहीं किया है तो नहीं करना चाहिए इथिकली. द सोर्स ऑफ स्पेशल इक्विपमेंट, कल्चर और एनी अदर मटेरियल. ओके, इफ यू गॉट समवेयर someone helps you help you in some special facilities, then you can acknowledge there. And definitely you should mention the funding source, है ना. फंड तो बहुत जरूरी है. आउटसाइड फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंट सच एज ग्रांट, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, फेलोशिप, यू डोंट फॉरगेट, बिकॉज विदाउट मनी द रिसर्च इज नॉट पॉसिबल. Better not use the word we, simply use I wish to thank. So the proposed wording of acknowledgement to the person who's helped. And one thing is that you clearly mention that for what work you are acknowledging which person. किसको आप acknowledge कर रहे हैं किस काम के लिए, rather than general acknowledgement. Now the references, you all know references, the different journal and different report require different style and format of referencing. There are many: Harvard format, alphabet numeric format, citation order format. You might be familiar with that. If you want to know how to do referencing, you have to search on net, or even each journal give idea then किस स्टाइल में आपको रेफरेंस बनाना है. I am just telling you what are the things that you have to keep in mind when you are writing the reference. A reference list of source, book, article, and web page etc. that are actually cited in a document. A bibliography. I hope you know the difference in reference and bibliography. Anyone? What is the difference between reference and bibliography? Priyanka, you want to tell? Okay. What is the difference between reference and bibliography? अरे एमटेक थेसिस तो लिखे होगे या एमएससी थेसिस? नो. ओके. तो reference is basically the work which you really refer in your paper, but bibliography includes books and other indirect sources also which help
Hello, sir.
Hello, Bhupendra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have connected using my mobile. There is a power cut. So 5 minutes I will take only. You just try to bear upon. Okay. Bhupendra,
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
it is visible or not? PPT?
PPT is
No.
not visible, sir.
Okay, okay. I have to share again.
Okay, now it is visible, sir.
Okay. So very 2 3 slides are remaining. Just I wanted to finish it. So I am using my mobile because power is also not here. Okay, some of you may be also facing the same problem, but just try to bear upon so that we can finish it. So I was just telling the difference in this reference and bibliography is reference is whatever the exactly you are referring. Upendra, my voice is clear, na?
Yes, sir. It is clear, sir.
Okay. While the bibliography is also include some additional sources that you indirectly refer. Okay. Each reference must contain title, author, journal, proceeding, publishers, and year. And any paper which is not cited in the text should not be included. One very, very important thing which applies uh, nowadays is the URLs. Whenever you are referring any online source, you must mention the proper, you cite properly. There is a way how to cite the online sources, and the important thing is you have to use the publication date, because the online sources keep on changing the content. So when you are referring online source, just try to learn how to refer and cite online sources, and remember to mention the date of access, on which date you access that content, when in case of online resource or source. So there are many way of writing the reference that you have to learn. Then many advanced apps and tools are available that automatically you can cite and refer in your even Word. The advanced version of Word also, MS Word also contain, you know, that will help you the direct citation. And you have to learn how to cite book, how to cite general magazine with volume number, without volume number, encyclopedia article, online source, patent, unpublished data. If you are citing or referring some unpublished data or one unpublished paper article, then you have to use DOI, digital object identifier. So these are the some way, even when you are going to submit in any journal, the much almost complete detail is given how to cite and how to refer. Apart from this, if you go to Elsevier, Springer, ACS, the well-known publisher, then they also have some dedicated author help sites. They will tell you how to, they will help to in writing research paper, how to cite, how to refer. So you can refer to the standard, general website of Elsewhere and Springer, Nature, and all those, PLOS One, many known one. So there are different citation style and there are different way of citing. There are three things I would like to tell you in the reference you are giving, citing should be recent one. If you are writing a paper in 2020, so try to make more of the references near 2020 or 2019 and all those. Some basic paper may be older one, but most of the paper should be recent one. Second thing is that it should be relevant. You cite only relevant papers. The third one is try to incorporate the, the papers, okay, of your reference. Even you can, if you plan before writing the research paper, if you plan well before the submission, then you should also include some papers from that journal, because obviously if you are referring those papers which is from that journal where you want to submit the paper, then your work will be aligned to the aim and objective of that journal. And try to look some papers from the journal where you want to submit, that how they are writing and what is the content and what is the quality. So that will make your life simple. Now, when you complete writing your paper, just have a puck check on your paper, that is punctuation, uses, capitalization, spelling. So once you can have some online sources also to check the grammar, or you can give to someone who's who can help you in correction. Now, the key idea behind writing good paper is you have to proofread, proofread, and proofread. In a single go, no one can write a good paper. This is my opinion that no one can write a good paper in a single go. एक बार में अच्छा पेपर नहीं लिखा जा सकता, ये मेरा मानना है. It's my opinion. But if you keep on improving, reading and correcting, improving, then definitely you can write a good research paper. So you proofread. Did you spelled all words correctly? Spell check. Indentation and capitalization you have to check. Punctuality, grammar, answer to all topic questions, including all the section of the manuscript. Confirm general guideline. Paraphrased all content. Use parental notation for quotes. Sentences make sense when read aloud. Had you paper irritate paper flow well. Include a bibliographic pages. You just give your papers to your supervisor or your colleague and try to find his or her view that whether the flow is maintained, because till now you are writing one section at a time. When you read the whole paper collectively, then you can better judge that whether the flow is logical or smooth or there is a gap. Okay, now the most awaited part of the presentation, conclusion. The dissemination of research result and finding is an integral part of the research process and career. I told you, if until unless the knowledge is disseminated, the research is not complete. Right to communicate and contribute information you feel is important. Paper have typical structure and content. So scientific research paper or any research paper has its typical structure. Try to maintain that structure and try to keep the content required. You should try to convince referees to accept your paper. A good way to write well is write. If you are keep on writing, definitely you are going to improve. Review papers so as to you're familiar with how others will review your papers. So after some time, you ask to your supervisor that you give me some paper for review. Then you can know that how the others are writing. And the one very important thing I would like to tell you all, audience, that please try to work with others. This is the most, negative aspect of the modern research. An associate, mentor, co-author, reviewer, commenter. Generally, we have tendency to hide the things rather than sharing the things. But it's my own experience and personal advice that try to collaborate as much as possible. जहां तक संभव हो सके अपने कलीग से, अपने पीयर्स से, उस फील्ड में काम करने वालों से आप जुड़िए और कोलाबोरेशन में काम करिए. I have 13-14 year experience and I can say you that in my opinion research is a collaborative work. It's very mind boggling, and if you move alone you will remain alone. Okay, try to grow on the shoulders of giants. Try to collaborate whatever manner you can. जिससे भी जुड़ सकते हैं जुड़िए और ज्यादा से ज्यादा कोलाबरेटिव वर्क करने की कोशिश करिए. This is the one of my overall advice to you. Try to build collaboration. If you want to, move for long distance, then you just try to collaborate. To be a good writer, read a lot. That is the second overall conclusion, that if you want to good writer, try to read good number of papers by the good quality authors from a good quality journal. And ultimately, writing is an art. You have to repeat, write, read, review, refine, revise. sincerely thanks from the bottom of my heart for the diagrams and contents and works that I have used in my own PPT that I have taken from the internet. These are the some of them. Many of the PPTs I may not be able to mention here. So I sincerely acknowledge the contribution of different authors of different PPTs that I have referred for preparing this presentation. And notable one was this PPT by Dr. Uday Khetkar from IIT Bombay. And basically I have taken most of the content, and I like very much this book, Robert Day. You can find on internet also some preview, and this is a very good book. And a lot of resource is also available, lot of good PPT and very interesting way of expressing how to write a paper is available on internet. Please refer and try to get benefited. So this is all about how to write a research paper. I told you that it is equally applies for any research proposal or research report. If you have understood how to write a research paper, then you can easily apply those while writing any type of scientific research paper or any research communication, maybe belonging to humanity as well. So this is all about how to write a research paper. Thank you for your patience listening. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Bhupen?
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
If anybody need my help at any stage of your PhD, I am here only in NIT Raipur, and I will be happy to help you. If you feel any help from my side, you just contact me, and you just inform me when you write your first paper. Just inform me that you got your first paper. I will be happy to know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, as a reward, just inform me when you write your first paper, SCI paper or any good paper you just mail me or inform me.
Yes, sir.
I will be happy. I will feel that
Yes, sir.
my work has contributed. I have contributed something to you. So I will stop it here. And regarding the plagiarism lecture, maybe the Friday I will inform you. One more lecture I will take on plagiarism. That is also very, very important nowadays. It's a very crucial subject. You all know. Lot of legal issue involved with the plagiarism. So one more lecture I will take on plagiarism, and the time and the date I will inform you. So thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.